All right, now let's get into politics. And of course, setting the stage for that was the, if you like, hand of fellowship extended to another contender in the race by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has been declared winner of the ADC presidential primaries. And of course, we saw that visit to the residence of the former Minister of Transportation and former governor of River State, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, yesterday by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And so where does that lead us as far as, progress for the ADC is concerned? What are the implications of this for the 2027 presidential election? Joining us on the program this morning is Mr. Jide Adeniji, an ADC chieftain and former chairman of FERMA, the Federal Emergency Road Management Agency. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning, my dearly beloved sister. Thank you very much.
So how should we begin to process this visit by Alhaji Abubakar to Mr. Amechi? Does it mean that all is well, that ends well with the primaries, and there will be no contests going forward?
The African Democratic Congress is on a rescue mission to rescue Nigeria from all the things that have been happening that are not good for Federal Republic of Nigeria. And every member of this coalition, of this party, are ready to forgo anything to make sure that Nigeria exists and there is progress in Nigeria. There is nothing too big for anyone to forgo, including personal pride. So seeing our presidential candidate visiting his own younger brother, His Excellency Barrister Rotimi Amechi, is not strange. Atiku Abubakar is an embodiment of humility. Anything could be done to make sure that Nigeria thrives. And this is one of the things that he has done by visiting his own younger brother, His Excellency Rotimi Amechi, in his own house. And it was a very, very fantastic visit and very productive.
And so at that primaries, Mr. Amechi was not there, even though there now seems to be, a reconciliation or a offer of, service for them to work together. But we also saw that Mr. Hayatuddin was not at that, the announcement, the declaration of the winner as well. So what efforts are being made by the party to also, get the other aspirant that lost in the race on board as well? And we do not quite have clarity. Perhaps Mr. Amechi was just being a gentleman, offering him some form of hospitality in his home. Do you have assurances of these men that they're going to work with the party beyond what we have seen on camera?
Well, Amechi has always been a gentleman. He's a man that I personally have a relationship with. He's a complete gentleman and very humble man. He believes that there is nothing that is too big for him to forgo for the survival of Nigeria. Concerning either the African Democratic Congress, I've been working to make sure that we reconcile other contestants. I want to tell you that there are a lot of things after the conclusion of the primary, which took place in all the 8,809 wards, 774 local governments, 36 states and FCT of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And you will bear me witness, there was no violence, there was no any negative things that happened to that primary. There must be a winner and there must be losers. But our conclusion is that in this, no winner, no loser. All of us are winners. And the African Democratic Congress, under the leadership of our dearly beloved statesman, His Excellency Senator David Mark, he has been working on the ground. And by the special grace of God, all of us will reconcile to make sure that we face this battle and win the battle.
So these are the words of Mr. Amechi saying, I unequivocally reject the concocted results being announced. There is no way that about 80% of members of the party were not allowed to vote, and you expect me to accept such results. He asked that then what makes us different from the others? A party that criticizes the ruling APC and INEC for vote buying, rigging, and writing of results cannot be engaged in vote buying, writing of results, and other electoral malpractices that lead to the disenfranchisement of voters who are party members. So I want to put it to you, sir. He said there was vote buying. He said there was writing of results and other electoral malpractices in the ADC's primary. Are you saying he was wrong?
Well, he cannot be everywhere. It's only God that is omnipresent. Throughout the primary, I was in my own federal constituency, in La local government. And throughout the period, there was nothing like vote buying. If anybody will buy vote, I would be the person to go and buy vote because I'm the leader of the party in that area. And I want to tell you that there was nothing like vote buying in my own place. I am not omnipresent. I will not know what is happening in River State. I will not know what is happening in Zamfara State at the same time. I only know what was happening in Osun State and the local government where I came from. And I want to assure you that there is no need, and I never saw any vote buying. Everybody went to his ward and chose who he wants to represent us as the presidential candidate.
So you're saying he was wrong?
To me, nothing like vote buying.
So you're saying he was wrong, basically?
Well, I am not saying he maybe in his own place there were vote buying. But where I supervise, nothing like vote buying. Just fact, like you are showing us, that is how every...
Right, what we're even showing is some of the geometric counting, where 1 became 50, 100, then 700, in a place where we had just about maybe 50, 60, or 70 people. But I just want to switch to this other part.
That is not for ADC.
Well, we have shown Nigerians...
Maybe it's in another party.
No, it was for ADC. In fact, we spoke with Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan about it, and he said, well, that they understand that some of these things happen, but the party will find a way to handle it. So it's not hearsay. It's been verified.
Well, he's your colleague, he's a journalist. You know how to manufacture your own word to suit your purpose.
Oh, you know what? Let's just...
I'm an engineer. I talk on precision.
All right. Should we play it for you then, so you can listen to it as well?
I don't mind.
All right. So we're going to play the video for you, so you also get to see it for yourself. And this is one of a couple of videos that we got.
2, 3, 4, 5,
So eventually the counting ended at about 700 plus, and Mr. Atiku Abubakar won that election. So you saw how we projected from 1, 2, 3, and we got to 100 when we had barely counted 10 people. So this is there. It's facts that are out there, right? But here,
there is no
and perhaps you want to speak
perfect, to that. Neither is there any system that is perfect. Only God is perfect.
Okay. I guess we have moved from...
So we can see little things like that, but not all over the country.
Right. So we have moved from that didn't happen to, okay...
8,000...
We've moved from it didn't happen to, well, these things happen. And that's why I didn't want us to spend time to go over it again, because I figured that was what we're going to get to. But here's the side of my question now. For Mr. Peter Obi, Mr. Robbie Ukwankwanso, who left the party earlier, well, some people say, great, they left because they saw this coming. If Mr. Amechi would have said that there was rigging, vote buying, and other discrepancies, then people are saying, well, Peter Obi was right then to have left this structure because he saw all these things coming.
Well, a man of myself, I believe that there is nothing that happens that God does not have hand in it. Bible says that everything worketh together for good for those that love God and are called according to the purpose of God. Anybody living ADC is for a purpose. God does not want them to be part and parcel of the success that is coming. Probably if they have stayed, there will have been more crises. There will have been crises that are not manageable. But they living, to me, it's not a loss. God has hand in it.
Wow.
Well, we're trying to process your position that the divine could have a hand in a process that, was envisaged to be fraudulent by the time it eventually took place, and that when it took place, there's evidence that there's a huge question mark on it, hence, the temporary silence. It's interesting that you will express that position, that God has a hand in the fraudulent process. But let's look at, what the greater implication of this would be, and that is the insistence, by the now candidate of the party that, look, the zoning conversation should be stepped down now, because if you calculated in the democracy the time that the North has had, a go at the presidency, it's inadequate compared to the time that the South has had. And so by extension, some would say that, look, the ADC was prepared in the first place for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. But how does that now impact on what some would say is the gentleman agreement, between the North and the South ahead of the 2023 presidential election, that power should go to the South? Are you worried that this might impact on the candidacy of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and in fact, the chance of the ADC in the 2027 election?
There is no time all the political parties had meeting together that there should be power shifts or there should be rotation between the North and the South since 1999. And I want to tell you for sure, for those that know exactly what happened in Nigeria, between 1999 to 2027 will be 28 years. Out of these 28 years, the North has only taken 10 years. By the time the president completes his first term in 2027, the South has ruled for 18 years. So, who is at advantage, who is at disadvantage? Between 1999 and 2027 is 28 years. The entire North has ruled for 10 years. The South has ruled for 18 years. So, what are we talking about? And when we look at the 6 geopolitical zones, the Southwest, the Southeast, the South-South, the Northeast, the North-Central, and the Northwest, the 6 geopolitical zones, from 1960 to date, there is one region that has never produced either head of state, commander-in-chief of armed forces, and or president and commander-in-chief of armed forces. And that region is Northeast.
Pardon me, Mr. Deniji, if I may come in ahead of the 2023 presidential election, Southern governors did hold a meeting and agreed that power should go to the South. And in fact, it was at that meeting that there was a proposition that no one should accept to be a vice presidential running mate. And so it was considered a betrayal by the Delta State governor at that time when he now agreed to become running mates to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. So there was indeed a meeting, and there are records to that effect, that there was an agreement that power would return to the South. But you can land on your point. I just wanted to bring that in.
When I know, I want to tell you that when does the Southern governors become the conscience of Federal Republic of Nigeria? When do they become dictators? How Nigeria will be run? They have now run their state very well. They are talking about how to dictate to Federal Republic of Nigeria who the president should be, who the president should not be. I mean, it's funny. A lot of these governors, they are arrogating powers that does not belong to them, to themselves. You see a Nigerian governor paying salary, he's being proud of it that I'm paying salary as if he's using his own personal money to pay salary. You see a Nigerian governor on television that have constructed the road. Are you there to be destroying roads? Are you not there to give us good infrastructure? I mean, our system have to change.
All right.
Our value system have to change.
Well,
how can some people sit down and they say that nobody in the South should take a presidential ticket? Nobody. When do they become our conscience? Well, they are just representative of the party that elected them to be governors.
Well, Mr. Deniji, pardon me, just
yes?
because you went to 1960, and I'm glad you did that, so we can have a fuller picture of just how much time this region has had to rule. You do know that the North has had about 39 years plus ruling the country from that same 1960 that you referred to, compared to the South, which has had less than 30. So if you're saying that, well, the South has had more, you need to look at the bigger picture. The North has actually had more. And to even balance it, some have said, let's allow the South to at least 2-3 more terms so we can balance it from 1960, and then we can begin to then say, let's have it back and forth.
From 1960,
you went to 1960.
If you are talking from 1960 to date, I understand you, Mr. Journalist. If you are talking from 1960 to date, I don't want us to talk about military. Nobody said that
you
the South
actually
should be
went
so
to
coward
1960,
that they cannot take over government
you took
of
us
Federal
back to
Republic of
1960,
Nigeria.
so I met you there. It was you that started 1960.
Okay, even if you say 1960, you cannot count military government as if people voted for them.
But you counted military government.
It is out of their bravery.
You counted the military government where you were saying a region has not led Nigeria, the Northeast. You counted the military government.
I said region, I said Northeast has never ruled Nigeria.
And you counted the military government.
Head of state and commander-in-chief of armed forces, and or president and commander-in-chief of armed forces. Those are different things. Northeast has never produced one. Never. Tell me one head of state or one president from Northeast. Tell me one.
So, Mr. Deniji, I hope you're getting my point here. Let's not choose and pick the data that works for us. You went back to 1960 and you counted both military and civilian leader that a certain region has not ruled. And I've given you the same data that says that since that 1960, the North has ruled more than the South. So if we were to even balance it, the South should have 2-3 more shots at the presidency in order to balance it for this fairness.
If the South want, if you are counting military government as a normal government, something is wrong with us. Nobody
Mr.
tells
Deniji, you went back to 1960 and you counted the military government.
That is an aberration.
So you actually started this.
No, I said from 1999 to 2027 is 28 years.
Oh dear.
Out of these 28 years of civilian rule, the South has ruled for 18 good years by 2027. The North has only ruled for 10 years. So who is at a disadvantage? And I said since inception of Nigeria, Northeast has never produced head of state and commander-in-chief of armed forces and or president and commander-in-chief of armed forces.
Well, Mr. Deniji, some would say that the game is the game. You pick the data that is convenient for you. But let's move to other parts of.
Choose the one that is inconvenient for you.
Yeah, let's move to other parts of the conversation. And you know, there are many actors in the race. By now, if we began the count, there's Alhaji Atiku Abubakar now. Even though there are other litigation issues that we may consider, but let's leave the complexity. Let's look at the politics. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, of course, the candidate and the incumbent of the APC. There's Mr. Donald Duke of the PRP. We understand that he has secured the ticket for the race. There's the Oyo State governor, you know, who has also entered the race, who is suggesting a partnership with the APM. There's the Peter Obi and, you know, the Kwankwaso ticket of the NDC.
For NDC.
Well, we're not quite sure where the former President Goodluck Jonathan will enter the race. We're only hearing reports that they want to ratify his candidacy, but he hasn't spoken to that. So what are your calculations and the strategy of the
for SDP?
Yes, there's also Adebayo for SDP. So what are your calculations and the strategy of the ADC to get Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to win this race in spite of the very, very evident contention and, threats of these other actors who have thrown their hats in the ring?
For me, I am exceedingly happy for what is happening in the country now. In the South, we have about 6 presidential candidates already. About 5 or 6. In the whole North, we have only 1 presidential candidate. I mean, that speaks volume. There is no doubt about it. Atiku Abubakar is a nationalist. He has tentacles all over the 6 regions of the Federation. I'm a Southwesterner, but I've been relating with him for about 41 years now. 41 good years I've been relating with him. I have seen some qualities in him that other people that are far away from him may not know. He is not a religious bigot. He is not a tribalist. He wants to see Nigeria to be in a better pedestal. Atiku Abubakar, if he becomes president today, he will work as if tomorrow will be the end of the 4-year term. So, and he has done it before. He has been vice president and head of economy of Nigeria for 8 years. We could see results. You cannot say you have experience unless you experience experience. He has been in government, he has practicalized it. So Nigeria will not be at loss. Nigeria will enjoy this government to the fullest. I mean, there is no single doubt in my mind. I have personal contact with this man. I've worked with him. And I see that he meant and he means well for Nigeria.
Well, we'll find out if that is the case, and that's if he wins the presidency. We must thank you very much, Mr. Jide Adeniji. By the way, you're a former member of the PDP, am I correct?
Yes, very, very correct.
And you were also in the Osun governorship race in 2018. So,
2018, yes.
Yes, you were a very visible politician. Mr. Jide Adeniji is an ADC chieftain, and he is also former chairman of FIRMA. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
And there's more to come after this time. Join us again.